Hey guys, welcome back to Factorio. This is EddieMan, episode number 50. Now, in the previous episode, we went ahead and got our inserter array up and running. This episode is going to be a special episode as I pick my next science here, which is gun turret damage. This is going to be an interlude episode for our train station. As you can see here, I'm starting to build the first iron train station here. It's a sped up episode, 3 times speed, just like my Spaghetti Factorio series layout. I figured I'd do a quick interlude episode here, knock out the train stations. Figured it was a really good idea considering this is a milestone episode, episode 50 that is. So I'm giving it a shot and gonna see how you guys like it as I place these inserters here. The stack inserters coming out of the train, and then the fast inserters coming out of the stockpile or the steel chest. Okay, and we're gonna have them go into 4 lanes of yellow, which eventually is gonna go to 2 lanes of red, going towards the smelting column. So yeah, that's the basic iron setup there. I'm gonna go ahead here and bring down some power so we can stop the flashies. Okay. So we get it quite a bit done this episode. Believe we knocked out a lot of science. There is a little issue with blue science, which I'm gonna go ahead and address later on. You'll see that in just a few minutes here. This was supposed to be an episode for like knocking out a lot of the new train system, but obviously the train system is going to take far more effort and time to build. Worker robot speed 1. All right, that's gonna just fly by, as you can see in a second here. So I ended up changing plans and switching to just covering the initial train station here for smelting. So eventually we're going to have 2 lanes for iron and 1 lane for copper. That should cover our needs for the smelting column. As we go into lab research speed 4, like I said, I'm just going to knock out a bunch of science. We're going to go ahead and place our second iron train station here, as I have to move piercing rounds. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to resupply here. Numerous items. As you can see, the iron here is starting to poop out. So we have to get these stations up and running. Alright, so we'll just move this piercing round line down the line here. Get this out of the way, so we can get our second iron station up and running here. Or maybe not up and running, but at least placed. Alright. Sorry if that was a little too loud. I'm going to go ahead and tweak that in the edit. Anyway. We're going to place our train line here. Make sure it all lines up. Perfect. And we're going to do the same thing for the exit here. Should all line up perfectly. Place that train station. Name it Iron Main. Okay. Alright, labs research speed 4 is done. And again, we're just going to go ahead and place the station down again, just like we did on the first one. Alright. Landmines is complete. And the next one is Mining Productivity 6. This should help us out with the mining. Just place the steel chests down. Okay. It was a good... episode 49 was a good way to squeak in the array for the inserters. Because we're going to be using a lot of the stack inserters, as you can see, for all these stations. Now, this is going to be the drop-off station. Now, the loading stations might not be as big, but we're going to have a lot of them. So, I might go ahead and decide to make some kind of, like, train queue yard or something. We'll see going forward. Here, I'm going to go ahead and extend the wall north. I didn't want to show so much of this on camera, so I only did a little bit of it. What I think I'm going to do between this episode and the next is I'm going to extend the wall all the way to the northern point. As you can see, as you'll see at the end of this episode, I do map out where I want to put the wall, the northern wall. And make room for that rocket factory, you know. So good things are happening. Good things are definitely indeed happening. As I clear out more space here. This is just a regular routine wall build here, just to protect our western flank here. Okay. The reason for that is that I'm going to go ahead and set some miners up here on this copper in just a moment. Just making some room here for the exit line from the station. I had some biters issues up in the stone storage. I believe I don't show that all on camera though, the killing of those biters. I think I jump off camera here in just a moment to take care of that. But anyway, mining productivity is done. We're going to go ahead and do brake force 4. By the way, brake force is it lets this trains be at a constant speed for longer, and it takes a shorter time to brake. So that's a really good science that the devs added. Nice little quality of life there. Well, not really quality of life, but you know, quality of input from the ores coming from the outposts and so forth. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and place these miners down on this little copper patch here. It's not really an outpost because it is with the confines of the base here. But it's kind of in the way, so we're just going to go ahead and knock this out. Get this all mined up in no time. As you see here in a little bit, I walk away without placing any gun arrays or protection, and yeah, it comes back and bites me in the butt. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and proceed with the work of copper station here. Yep, there's those prestige, those biters. I take the blueprint of the copper station and, well, the biters are here attacking what I just built. Yep. So we just got to go ahead and repair that, or actually place more miners down. And again, I walk away with it without setting any gun turrets up. I think that was just the all clear alarm there. Alright, so we're going to blueprint down the copper station. It's a nice little gap between, and I think one might be enough. And I'll have multiple trains, multiple trains come in to drop off copper. And I know we're going to use a lot of copper down the line, so I will leave some room for a fourth station if I need it. But right now we'll just go with the 3 stations down here. Okay. So like I said here, I didn't show this on camera, but the first two stations I already set up the red belts, the yellow going to red belts for smelting. So I wanted to show a little bit of that just now. And I needed to fix that red belt issue there with the iron. Somebody told me I missed the belt, so I just went ahead and fixed that. Okay, so I come back to resupply some military items and some other items, and I get a glimpse of the issue with blue science here. Okay, as I resupply on some inserters, okay, and belts. Always need to keep those stack inserters stacked. Just grabbing some supplies for the copper station. Yeah, see here, I was wondering why blue science wasn't keeping up. So I go investigate that in just a second here. I know it's not production science. So yeah, it's an issue with engines. We're not producing enough engines fast enough. So I go ahead and double up that production for engines for blue science. Okay, just a routine setup here. I figured one section was going to be enough, but I considered that to be two less. And it's always good to have more than two less, so I double it up again. Alright. This is where I was resupplying and grabbed some more items for science here, and then I've decided to double it again. Well, not double it, but actually double it this time. Okay. Alright, that should be good. I forgot to set up a storage chest for my person to have engines, so I go ahead and do that as well. And it looks like the engines are going to do a little better than what they were, so we should see a little increase in blue science. Okay, so we'll go ahead and work more on the copper station here. Just gonna keep it a regular red for now. I don't know what the RGB numbers are for iron and copper, so I figured I'd play around with that little later on. I just want to get these stations up and running here. Okay, light this place up so we can see, so you guys can see. And just placing the belts in the splitters. Very simple stuff here. Alright, like here, we'll go from 4 yellow belts to 2 red belts. Keep that ratios going. Alright, some steel chests again. And then we'll do the south side of the station. And we have another biter attack by the stone. I'm gonna have to set up some more turrets over there. I don't think I realized that happened. Okay, so we'll go ahead and clean up some mine. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and clean up some of those miners there. And I want to get this stone wrapped up here, so we got to do something that's production science to get some of these stone bricks. Okay, so let me go ahead and just set up this copper patch finally here without any other further delays. Get this all lighted up and everything. Power it up. All about those lights, right? Okay, we're gonna just go ahead and connect this by belts right now. Get this all mined up. So I want you guys to let me know what you think of this episode. Do you like the sped up episodes? I know it's been a while since I've done a Spaghetti Factorio episode, and I did get a lot of good comments on that series. It's just the Angels and Bobs take up so much time, and producing those episodes just sucked all my time away. So I eventually will get back to it, but right now it's obviously it's on hold. Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna go, like I said, we're gonna connect at least one of the copper ores up to regular smelting here. Run it through the station for now so that we can get that patch mined out. Okay. Maybe later on down the line we'll build some kind of bypass of some sort. So the trains don't have to always have to flow through a station to get around. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna get all that stone taken care of out of the original stone smelting column, that is. Right. So I wrapped up I believe that was the last science for this episode. I don't wanna finish all the science up so soon in the series. Alright, here just poking at some minor issues that I saw. Gotta go ahead and clean a little bit of those items up here. I believe that's it for the station build for this episode. So yeah, we're just gonna move down this radar here to the corner here. So we can see more of what's in the wilderness out there. And then I need to place a radar in the corner wall where the north wall starts. So we'll get that radar going in the next episode. Here, this is where I placed the planning for the wall. Okay, I think I might need 1 or 2 radars actually, more on the west wall there. But we're gonna go all the way north there, and then we're gonna go east to the lake up there. Wall up this whole section there, as you can see in the map planning. So we got some biters to clear out as well. So that should be fun. Right, and then we'll wall off the east section here, this little choke point here. I might do most of that off camera though, because that's going to be a lot of work. Okay. Alright. I'll go ahead and place the incoming train up all the way to where these copper patch is up here. So I have some sort of an idea where I want the northern train line to go. That'll run, west to east. Okay, do some more minor cleanups here as this iron patch is running down. And I finally can take down this stone patch here. Or this stone, the old stone smelting. And I believe this is where I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. We do select one more science. Lab Research Speed 5. Alright, and I do some cleanups of the map. No, looks like that's going to be it for this episode. Yep. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining me in this episode of Factorio. And let me know what you think in the comments, again, of this sped up episode format. Also, you can always look me up on the Discord server at EddieManPlays.com. Thank you again for joining me in this episode of Factorio, and like always, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.